show you now of days long past, the time when the world was young, when sorcery thrived and wild adventure was forever in the offing. And of this epoch, little is known, save that which is veiled in the mists of legendary.
Legendary.
Just a leg, or shall I bring the whole cow?
This is Film Sack. Oh, sure.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Film Sack. This is Film Sack episode 700.
What?
Bring us
the whole cow.
100.
Welcome to the 700 Club, folks.
Good Lord. I got a little something for that in a minute, but let's start things off by telling you that this is still Film Sack, mining the very depths of film entertainment for all mankind. I am one of your hosts, Scott Johnson. Also with me today, Brian. Do not touch his altar of agony, blood faces, Dunaway.
No, those are my altars of agony. How you doing, guys? Oh, hi. This week on Film Sack, we cock our triple-bladed sword and the Sorcerer ranged melee weapon and take aim at this butt-cheeky fantasy action film from 1982, now running around topless in the bathhouse of streaming services, Amazon Prime, like some kind of manimal, old TV reference for flavor, who is incest vibing on his sister right after she pays her bedroom debts to the stranger. But hey, man, this movie is horny as it is sorcery. It needs a nut me in is what it needs. Anywho, speaking of horny, I've got a 1,000-year Woody from the witch who woke me from my slumber with a screaming wall of heads of my victims, followed up by suckling the sleep jelly from my gnarly half-demon, half-sorcerer ET hands. And there's only one cure I know of. Her heart still beating in my grasp. Get over here. Gross. Randy, get to the point. I am weary.
Yeah. You know what though? The good over here is when you're thinking of Kano with the heart though.
Over here.
But it's fine. I like your mixed metaphors. There's nothing wrong with it. Also with us, Randy. Those rats are serious, Jordan.
Aloha, Scott. Brian, thanks for coming to this special feast where we have 4 kings coming, and we're going to ambush them after Cromwell marries the girl in a sort of bloody nuptials. I'm workshopping this. A crimson marriage, you know what I mean? A crimson marriage. We'll do it up
familiar.
We'll do it up real nice with a formal crucifixion and literally everyone in the room wearing a cheap wig. You know, just like people did in the 13th century, as you know. And also, as you know, a man can use his hands after having gigantic nails driven right through them. Just a fun fact, you know, you should appreciate it. Oh, but I'm losing you. Cromwell. Okay, got you back. So in you go for the slow-mo fighting, and you'll be fine. As long as you remember my 3 guidelines. Number 1, I know this is the 1200s, but I need you to invent electric spotlights. We can't have a wedding without spotlighting the parachute we're hanging behind the priest. Number 2, if you see a brazier with a bright fire burning in it, you knock that shit over. That's what braziers are for. You knock it over to win a prize. Number 3, most importantly, we need to invent French cut bikinis for the women to wear. We've got a game of beach volleyball going on in the dungeon below the jail cells. Wait, why are we focusing on the feast fight? Cut back to the bikini girls.
Feast fight. I like that term. All right. Read something. It's just in the back of my mind. Anyway, we also have with us Brian. That banquet thing was like the Red Wedding, but way dumber Ibbot.
Wow, what a weird coincidence.
Yeah, weird.
All right, well, this week's song, a band I haven't done before, but you know, with everything that's been going on and us having to watch this nearly, was it really only an hour and 45 minutes? Holy cow.
No.
I figured we could all use a little bit of TLC afterwards, so play the clip.
I don't even know what to say. No, I do know what to say. I have a new favorite. That's my favorite one you've ever done.
Yeah.
Is it really? Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, it's easy to hear a new one and go, wait, that's my new favorite. But this one, legitimately my new favorite.
This one is unseated, can't get on my horse. Okay, wow. All right.
Really good.
And going into a movie called The Sword and the Sorcerer, did anyone expect this much references to men's balls?
No.
I had completely forgotten about it. There was some things in this movie that I've seen more than once.
Well, let me ask you this. Are you so you'd seen it though, right? Dunaway, you'd seen it before.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I had not. I don't remember it.
Brand new to me too.
Yeah.
So,
I was sure.
I feel like the need of the balls is the only thing that's not period accurate. For some reason, I feel like that was invented after.
Oldies? Are you kidding?
Yeah, that was very 80s.
I feel like that was invented way after the Dark Ages.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe, the tenderness of the man's testicular area maybe was a lot longer than we think. But here's the thing. Yeah. All right. Before I play the fake Fletcher, fake Fletcher has helped me in two ways today. All right. We've harnessed technology to not only tell us more about the Sword and the Sorcerer, but we've also done it to celebrate 700 episodes of this show. So I'm going to play this, but maybe apologies for it. I don't know. Here it is.
In 700 BCE, the rise of the Etruscan civilization in Italy happened. In Major League Baseball, hitting 700 plus home runs is a legendary achievement. Only 4 players have ever done it. In modern financial culture, a FICO score of 700 is considered good. And finally, there are now 700 episodes of Film Sack, give or take, depending on posting errors.
There you go. I don't know why
when did it become John Cryer?
I know, right? The middle the only thing I can think of, so this actually, I was really curious about this because there was a real shift in voice type when the word financial showed up, and it got like kind of serious and normal for that bit.
Oh, wow.
So I think sometimes it's just the words and
like
they go.
It looks at the context of the words to determine what it's going to do with the voice. That is insane.
It's weird.
Seriously, John Cryer came out of nowhere in the middle of that.
Yeah. 2 men and a baby, or 2 men and a little band, or whatever the hell it was. All right, here's the real fake Fletcher, and also congratulations, guys. 700. It's no small task.
Yeah,
hey,
awesome. You too.
I don't know anyone who's done that. Well, I do. TMS did it. Right. The Instance did it. A few other things did it, but
Coast to Coast, Coverville.
There's many shows have done it, but this is ours, right? That's how we say it. Anyway, here it is. This is Fake Fletcher explaining this film.
On this week's Film Sack podcast, a mercenary with a 3-bladed sword rediscovers his royal heritage's dangerous future when he is recruited to help a princess foil the designs of a brutal tyrant and a powerful sorcerer in conquering a land.
Like a gnarly D&D campaign run by your drug-addled Uncle Jerry.
Jerry
started toward McConaughey but didn't get there.
Yeah. Also, it sounded like
also how he's like on the phone for the first part, and then the end he's like he got off the phone and was live in our ears.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me. It seems also to be determined if I make a paragraph cut, and then it will change up when it gets to the new paragraph.
Interesting.
I don't understand.
Maybe it thinks it's a dialogue. It's like, hey, we're gonna switch to the other guy.
I have no idea. But as
any of the two of you who didn't watch this movie before, either of you read the words triple blade before seeing this movie?
No.
I wish I hadn't. I had an idea in my head of what a triple blade was, and it was not this.
Really?
Nobody forgets that moment. You won't forget that moment.
like a 3-pointed. Like, in other words, like, you know how Shatterstar has a double-bladed sword in the X-Men comics, but also you could say Darth Maul has a double-bladed sword. Two very different things. Right. Were you, when you heard triple blade?
I thought about adding a third to Darth Maul, so it was three in right angles. That was what my brain came up with.
That'd be, you know what? I think actually that would be more effective because the whole thing, Shatterstar's blade has always bothered me, and then this one bothers me, I guess 50% more because when you cut with a sword is a wedge. Let's go do some physics here. A sword is a wedge, and it separates, right? It's the simple machine. It's a wedge.
Yeah.
When you add another blade parallel to the first blade, what you're doing is you're you're creating more support structure for what you're hitting. It's the reason, like, when somebody lays down on a bed of nails, they don't get skewered, but if they lay down on a single nail, the nail will go right through them, because all those extra nails are wedges that are kind of supporting. The more wedges you add, the more support it gets. So if you put 3 blades on something, you're not going to cut 2 perfectly slices through something.
Exactly.
You're right, and that's why he does not use the sword in that manner here, because first
he uses
you shoot the side blades off, and then you fight with the blade.
But
Yes,
he
then
also,
you have to run around like you just shot a like your little
Nerf
plastic gun that shoots your Nerf gun. You have to go and find your suction cup darts stuck to the window and say, hold on, let me get this.
But you can also, apparently, this movie taught me you can use a 3-bladed sword to chop down a bunch of other swords. You just need to get your opponents to hold them all in the perfect right place.
Right, all in a line. Yeah.
No, but your point stands, Ibbot. If there was one sword, it's way more dangerous than the 3, because the 3 are going to blunt the experience. It's so stupid.
It's why Wolverine, when he has his 3 claws out, he jabs them as opposed to slicing them all the time. Like, he can slice, but he makes sure that the tips are what cuts you. Right. As opposed to like, cutting through a salami and having 4 perfectly divided pieces of salami.
So you don't like the fantasy in your fantasy film?
I want the realism in my fantasy. I want I want physics. I still want physics to apply in a fantasy universe.
Want like 3 hours of some hobbits walking across. That's what you want.
Yeah, give me that.
Yeah,
Here's the thing.
I mean, as long as the physics
understand how the hell is the greatest fantasy ever written catching strays right now. It was so wild to me.
It was just one of the offshoot blades that I nerfed out. It was not there.
Did you pull it out of the tree that you accidentally shot it into?
Yeah.
By the way, it's not even a 3-bladed sword. It's technically a 4-bladed sword.
It's a quad blade.
Secret hidden sword inside.
Oh man, that stuff as a kid. Had I seen this as a kid, I would have loved that shit, because I love.
You were just a little bit excited about him pulling out that tiny blade.
Oh, I was, and the other guy with his suddenly his staff has 2 little flip blades on the end. I was like, okay, all right, let's go. Yeah, here's the thing,
Scott. You're taking it to the correct place. The way to love this movie is to access your inner child.
Yeah, be 12 and watch this seriously, because it's pretty cool. Now, I think there's a reason I didn't see it in 1982, because this would have been forbidden fruit in our house. There's no way.
Yes, definitely R-rated, very R-rated. Yeah. I would have loved it,
and not for the right reasons.
No, it would be for boobs and gore, like that scene at the end when he pulls his skin all off and he's the orc. He's Richard Mall under that. I would have, but that would have sent my mom over the moon. She was no way she'd let us watch that. Yeah.
Also, if you were a certain age, you may have been distracted because you had some great fantasy that year. You had this, and then the very next month, Conan the Barbarian. So I mean, they were practically at the theater at the same time.
Yeah, and, practically holding their swords in the same position. Those 2 guys.
Yeah. So it was a good time.
Yeah,
if you were into specifically sword and sorcerer.
What I like about it the most is how earnest it is. It's just so earnest. It's like we're making this movie and we're going to go all out, and everyone's going to give their all, and nothing here is being phoned in, even though it's all phoned in. It's just nobody knows that it's being phoned in. It's incredible that way, and it's so much better than the other movie we've seen of his. Maybe we've seen more, but the other one I think of is that recent one with
this is Albert Pune. This is his favorite. Yeah, this is my definitely favorite Albert Pune. I think that's when we started discussing watching this, right after we watched we watched.
That's what I'm trying to remember. Is the one with
was it Cyborg?
No, we haven't done Cyborg yet. We need to. Where the hell is this? It's the one we saw that we just thought was so freaking abysmally bad.
Not the Rutger Hauer thing.
Yes, that was
Omega Doom.
Omega Doom
was Doom.
Mega Doom.
That's Thune,
right?
Poon, or how do you say his name? Yeah,
Poon.
That was 1996. That is such a lesser film. Like, it's not even close. And if you look at his list, so you go through all the stuff he's done. I mean, most of his scores are in like the 3.8, 3.2, 2.1. Nobody's giving his movies very good reviews. This one and something called Cyborg Nemesis: The Dark Rift. It's not even a date on it, has an 8.0. Kind of need to know what the hell that is.
No kidding. Wow, he was originally tied to Total Recall.
No way.
Originally slated to do
with
Rico.
William Hurt as the star. Oh boy,
I think it would have been the same movie. I think it would have been exactly the same.
Yeah.
The same as what we got, or the same as this?
Yeah. Same as what we got. No, same.
Okay.
I feel like Cyborg should be on our list at some point.
I've seen Cyborg too.
Maybe his
Same.
Kickboxer 4, maybe.
His Captain America, we should probably see at some point.
Yeah,
I've seen that one.
I have.
You guys remember that?
I have too.
Yeah.
I have too.
I have not
the
seen
motorcycle one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was a TV thing. He's got a motorcycle on that.
He also did that. Yeah.
It carried through. I think the motorcycle TV thing was earlier than the movie motorcycle thing.
Oh, interesting. I mean, I'm looking at the IMDb page. He really tried to match the old costume and like make it all painted on. It looks pretty bad.
Oh, it's pretty bad.
I'd watch that though. I'd do that.
I did have a revelation this time because I never put the two together. Prince Micah is Simon McCordendale, I think is his name, and he was Manimal. I don't know if you remember that TV series.
Hell yeah, dude.
From the 80s.
You kidding me? Love Manimal.
But yeah, I didn't. I don't think I ever put those two things together, which is odd because he's got such a striking, unique face.
Let's not skip on the name. Simon McCorkindale.
Corkindale.
Yeah.
I had to slow down to say it. Corkindale.
The thing I always think of with him is how big his mouth is, and I mean physically. He yells a lot.
He has an interesting
Did Kevin Kline
face,
make up that name when he was had to come up with a name on the spot?
It sounds like a fake name.
I don't understand Albert Pune's pedigree. It doesn't make sense to me. Like he gets to make this movie at like 28 years old or something. It's really impressive. But he comes away with a 67% on Rotten Tomatoes for this movie. His best rated is 71% for Nemesis, which is bizarre. Like who gave it thumbs up? But then at the same time, let's go 3 movies that we know by him, right? Cyborg is at 22%, Kickboxer 2 is at 20%, and Captain America is at 6% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
That all makes sense to me.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah.
That makes me want to see it even more. We got to do it.
Yeah.
Look,
absolutely.
I think Pune is a good bet. It looks like most of his films made money. And so he comes in with a low budget and he blows it out. This is a bona fide hit.
Yeah, this thing made real
it's not
money.
because he makes great films. It's because he makes bad films cheaply.
Yeah.
Cheaply that seem to resonate and makes money.
Here's some trivia for you. Despite being a low budget B movie, it earned $39 million at the box office against a budget of just $4 million. So if you looked at it today, with inflation, that's actually a really huge profit. And it beat out some major studio flicks that year. Like it totally killed. Which is insane because it's shit.
I have a florist business that makes money. I steal the flowers out of my neighbor's garden on the way to the corner where I sell the flowers.
Doesn't matter.
Making money
You're a bona
is
fide money man.
It like you know what I'm saying? Like this is terrible. This movie.
It's pretty bad. I mean,
let me tell you this: if you're an artful curator of movies. And if you cannot turn a profit, it doesn't matter how great the art movie, you're going to eventually run out of money. No one's going to.
But we're talking about the other direction. We're talking about making money by not making a good movie, like by making it as cheaply as possible.
I wouldn't say this is. You say not a good movie, but I think we need to it's. I don't know. I'm real hesitant to say it's a good movie.
I mean, it's
got qualities. Right.
It's got qualities. I was entertained. I wasn't entertained for the reasons I think that Pune wanted me to be entertained. But I had a great time watching this, but I wouldn't say it's a good movie.
Yeah, I'm never going to argue for this being a good movie, but man, I had fun with this, and I had fun in that 12-year-old. See, we should go back to that for a second, because if you can put yourself in that mind space, this is just as fun and just as quote unquote good as Beastmaster, as the Conan movie. Like there's a kind of movie that this is, and it's from a very specific time. I wouldn't even call it a genre. It's more like, I mean, it's in the fantasy genre, but
sword and sorcery is a subgenre.
Well, sure, but there's barely any sorcery in this. Was part of my problem with the movie. We'll complain about that later.
Oh, you didn't like the heart ripping? That was
no, that's fine. But you know what?
so brief.
It's all sword and no sorcery in this thing.
It's all sword, no sorcery. I like it.
And it's and he's almost chick in the bucket. The sorcerer is just about a chick in the bucket if he didn't come at the last minute.
Like the movie starts with such a letdown because the resurrection at the very beginning of the movie is pretty cool, and it you get to see Bull Shannon he has some lines at the very beginning. He has a presence, and then it completely skips him doing his job. And it goes right to him getting murdered the first time. And he's tired from doing all of his magic, sire. Oh, why didn't you show us all the magic? That was the best part.
You show up on the battlefield and everybody's dead. And it's like, okay, well, I guess the source was pretty good.
Yeah. This is what happens when your budget's $4 million. You have to imply cool shit, and cool shit happens.
Yeah, but they made Star Wars not too many years before this for $7 million. I feel like they could have coughed up a little more.
Are you comparing?
Yeah. Yes, I am. Because that goes to your goes to your whole money thing of like, if you what can you do with as little as possible? $7 million in 1978 was like nothing compared to other films, and they somehow made Star Wars.
That is a really good comparison because both of these movies kind of fed the imaginations of the kids of that time. We were actually pushing through genres pretty quickly during the late 70s and early 80s, trying to find traction for some things, and a couple of things stuck around.
Sure.
And the Star Wars sci-fi fantasy definitely.
Yeah, and this one in particular, again, I go back to the earnestness of it. There's a real attempt by everybody from direction down to acting, where they may not all be good at this. I can tell they're all really giving it their all.
Yeah.
Given whatever constraints they had, I still can feel it. So there are some exceptions, though. I think that Lee Horsley is actually a good actor and plays this roguish, grown-up version of the Prince pretty well.
Prince Italian.
He's convincing. He actually made me laugh a couple times with his one-liners. Like he's not so cheesy. He also is in Hateful Eight, a very small role, kind of a film.
Yeah, you told me that. I did not know that at all. I was wondering
if you'd seen him in something else. Okay.
He's in lots of, if you go, he's one of those 70s, 80s on everything kind of guys. But Tarantino,
I imagine he was on Love Boat and Fantasy Island at some point.
Yeah, there's a shot of him from Hateful Eight. It's very brief. He's like the sheriff guy, but he, he's great.
He's still hiding.
You can always tell who is underappreciated from an era that everyone thinks is dead because Tarantino hires these people. It's like he just loved them when he was growing up or whatever. So it's usually
this is our fourth time seeing Richard Mole in a film sack movie.
Can I guess?
Was shocked.
Yeah,
can we do some guessing?
We also watched him in one. We also watched him in that TV. What we watched like a Hercules or something he was in, where he was like the giant, the Cyclops or something.
Yeah, something like that. What was that? Do you remember the name?
Caveman, 1981.
Oh, he's in Caveman? No way.
Caveman.
Caveman.
That's the first one we saw from him.
House, Caveman. What? Because Ibit said House, right? Ibit, you said House.
House, yeah. Okay. The one with George Wendt.
House. The other one is you either remember it or you don't, and I didn't even remember this, even though we had a very famous episode of Film Sack on it, and that's he has an appearance in Jingle All the Way.
Oh,
really?
Is he one of the Santas?
No.
Oh my God, Richard Mall Santa would be great. Mall Santa.
Mall Santa. Shit. I don't know if I can go on the rest of the day after hearing that. Richard Mall Santa is a mall Santa. Holy shit.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. A mall Santa.
We should see the Headless Horseman from 2007. That's what his IMDb photo is from. That could be fun. Look at that. He's like an old
Our oldest standard actor for Film Sack, you might recall, is a guy named Thomas Rosales Jr. And he's in this. So we're now at 24 movies with Thomas Rosales Jr.
Good Lord.
Wow.
Busy boy. Real quick, Richard Mall, another big Utah deal. Guy lived in Ogden for a long time and then moved out to Hollywood.
And he actually has two eyes, right? Not like I just posted in Discord. He's only got the one, and the center is two eyes. Okay.
Yeah, just the two.
Yeah. Right.
I don't remember what that TV thing was. It may have been. Was it
it was Hercules?
It was Hercules.
Yeah.
Like the one with the guy we don't like now.
Yeah.
Sorbo.
Did we did a Hercules episode?
We don't like now. I like it.
I know. Did we not like him now? What did he do? I don't want to know. Keep it to yourself.
Complete douchebag now. But back in the day,
tell me what Richard Lynch did. That's what I want to know.
Chances are he's always a douche, so it doesn't matter. Richard. Who'd you say?
Oh, Richard Lynch. He's Cromwell.
Right. So that dude, I swear, I saw on every episode of any kind of like Love Boat / Dynasty / whatever. Yeah. I don't even know if he was really in those things, but you just look at that guy's face and you go, "Oh yeah, you're on TV." Everything. Yeah.
He was also in The Barbarians, which is a couple years later, more fantasy stuff. We got to watch that one. The twins. Remember the twins? The Muscle Twins? Remember those guys?
No.
Me?
I don't remember that. The Muscle Twins?
I guess I was watching some real shit during the 80s.
No,
and the 90s and the 2000s
True.
And the 2010s.
Right. And this week, God, what did you watch this week, Brian?
Yeah. He's had an interesting, varied career. A lot of garbage and then some decent things, like guest stars on, I don't know, 6 Feet Under and let's see, something called those are all bad. Never mind. We're not looking at those.
Those are all bad. Maybe that's the reason why I've seen him maybe that's why I think I've seen him so many times.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. My bad.
He's in something called Mil Mascaras versus the Aztec Mummy, which is reviewed really well. Like has killer reviews. I'm not saying we should see it, but maybe we should see it.
I loved Mil Mascaras so much as a kid. Like so much. My favorite luchador.
Yeah, he's a Mexican wrestler, right? Yeah, here he is. Oh, it's an actual. That's the name of the guy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that.
He always wore a different mask, except when he didn't. It's so weird. Like his deal was that he was always wearing a different mask, and then you'd see him wear the same mask like 10 times in a row.
That's wild.
Like, what's going on right now? Right.
That one's highly rated, but I don't know if I can trust it because wrestling fans are weird. Okay, that's all I'm saying. They're a little bit weird. But this also reminded me. This reminded me. We're at 700 episodes. It also reminded me of our very first episodes. Got a lot of Kroll energy in this thing, I thought.
Yes.
Oh, very much so. Wow. Yeah.
Similar.
I've heard from people about Kroll lately. People wanting, clamoring for some more of that. And I want to say, I saw a lot of people this week refer to this Sword and the Sorcerer as a family movie.
Yeah.
And I think maybe they watched this on TV. Because you could probably turn this into a family movie if you got rid of a couple of things, some pretty short things.
About 20 things.
A nice hour and a half.
About 20 sets, 20 sets of boobs.
Definitely an even number of things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, this ain't no Total Recall where we have to add an extra one.
Yeah.
Right.
This is many boobs. So they'd have to remove all of those. They'd have to get rid of a lot of this gore was pretty hardcore. I mean, some pretty good effects, like the guy busting out of his human form into troll form there at the end, or sorcerer form, or whatever.
Pretty awesome. Ripping the guy's head apart.
Yeah. There's something about old movies where they show blood as black goo.
Yeah.
Something about that
bile
man.
Almost. I love that.
I don't understand. Cool. You just brought up something I don't understand, and I want to talk about this.
All right.
The TV version is 1 minute shorter than the theatrical version of this movie. We presumably saw the theatrical version.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they took out the harem scene, which by the way now is taken over as the top way I'd like to die.
Yeah.
Getting beaten to death by a whole room full of topless women.
It was like the rat. It was like the rat scene, but good. That's the way you'd want to go.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But then they probably had some other thing that they put in to replace it, just to some different way that guy meets his end or something.
Speaking of, anybody else try to go back and watch the harem scene and have Amazon Prime go, hey, here's 3 minutes of commercials first.
That is hilarious. No, my VHS tape did not do that. Right.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I started it with Will in the room. And he was just like, I'm gonna look at my phone, and he eventually drifted out of the room because it was so terrible.
Yeah. He's not gonna. None of this is going to be good for.
Yeah, this is not going to translate to your kids watching today. This is something that definitely lives in the early 80s. If you've seen it, you're probably
but when they all turn into like 20-something hipsters and have a party and they all get pizza and beer and they watch bad movies, this is perfect for that shit.
This is it. Yeah, this is it.
Yeah,
I could see anyone doing like their homemade Mystery Science Theater 3000 about this.
Oh hell yeah!
There's lots of time to crack wise.
My first thought watching it was like, man, this would be one I would want to watch with you guys.
Like do a watch along.
Yeah,
sure.
It's been a while since we've had one, so I thought, But even like, there's a couple of things like I hardly recognize anybody. We had Manimal, sure, a couple other small faces or whatever. But then the guy that really stuck out and also seemed like he shouldn't have been there is Joe Regalabuto, who plays on Murphy Brown. He was Frank Fontana.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
he's just not he shouldn't be in this. Like, what are we doing?
He's the guy who's carried around the sword for 2/3 of the movie, waiting for Talon to need it again.
Yeah.
So he can toss it to him.
Yeah.
I got you, brother.
And the only thing we've seen Joe Rigobuto in before is Raw Deal. He was in Raw Deal.
Oh, wow.
That's right. He plays such a good slimy guy, right? He's kind of good at.
Yeah.
By the way, remind me next week when we talk about our favorite films from Film Sack that we feel like we're the only one. Because Raw Deal is it for me in the entire history of Film Sack.
Yeah. He's I guess they did a Get Back Together Murphy Brown deal. I didn't know about that. Like a reunion, or what do you call that?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I
Interesting.
guess you call it a reunion, right? Like a
Yeah.
TV reunion.
I'll tell you who was eating up the scenery while you look at that. Robert Tezier, is that his name? He's basically the torture guy, the guy who's doing all the torture with the grinding stone and everything. That guy.
Oh my gosh, does he go out in the worst way you would want to die?
Yeah, dude.
Love it. He went out like so many of my Green Army men did with my mom's exercise bike. Melted it right down.
Oh, for me it was all the different things in the kitchen. My parents would occasionally leave me home alone with a babysitter, and then I'm like, I wonder how the meat grinder works against this action figure.
That guy was mean he really was terrible to that blonde lady, so I was like happy to see
That's
him.
why it was so great, because it had our our really brief character. I don't even know the actor's name, but he was pretty cool. He was at the he basically, what was his deal? What was he, the landlubber? Because there was like some kind of ship versus mercenary ground.
His deal was to grind your face off in an ambush.
Yeah.
Like, it was great.
Yeah.
He's huge man too.
Yeah, he's a big dude. His IMDb photo's scary as shit.
Yeah.
Oh, look, he was in. We saw the Adam Sandler football game.
He's a Star Crash.
Longest
He was
Yard.
Chief Thor. One of the.
Oh, no way! I love Star Crash.
Yeah.
We need more Star Crash likes.
Yeah.
Oh man, he died kind of early. He was only 56. That's a bummer.
Was it due to a face grinding? Was that?
I think it was due to
it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt until it gets to the bone. I've learned.
Yeah.
That.
No, I think it hurts before that.
Right.
I think it says here he died.
I'm going to say it probably hurts a little bit.
I'm going to go with the screaming indicates that hurts right away.
Pretty instantly. Yeah.
You could go down his IMDb list and just have a ball, like everything from Nightwish to One Man Force, Future Force, Sledgehammer,
Really?
just the shittiest.
Like everything he made is good for Film Sack.
Yeah. Not bad for a guy that died young. It's not bad at all.
Yep.
Anyway, here's some trivia too that I grabbed about this. The film's most iconic weapon, that triple blade we talked about, shoots out the other blades, which, by the way, was also physically doesn't make sense how those pop out and have any momentum to them. But
It is called the sword.
Yeah, the sword. Anyway, they said they had an actual working prop version. While mostly practical effects, they built one that could really fire the blades, not very far and not very safely, it says. But that thing would launch them. Had some kind of spring mechanism in there that he could tweak it, and off it went. And I don't think it would go through a guy's head the way it did. But
I do wish the casting chair for this movie had a spring mechanism. Actually, the makeup chair needed a spring mechanism. It's so weird to me how bad the wigs are in this movie.
Oh, they're really bad.
If we did a watch along, all I would be saying is look at the wig on that guy. Look at the wig on that guy.
And too many of them were similar enough that it was almost like the Game of Thrones brand problem, where you've got too many characters with the same name. You've got too many characters that are with the same wig.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's either the Greatest American Hero Afro or the Linda Evans from Dynasty Bob.
I mean, even you got to give these guys with their limited budget. Even the poster is like Boris Vallejo Timu. Look at this thing.
It's one of my favorite things.
I mean, if
I love the poster.
If you zoom in on it, though, it's not great. There's some problems. That guy's muscles are all effed up. Well, that's my point. Is it's like at a glance you go, oh, look at this Frank Frazetta looking Boris Vallejo business, and you get a little closer and you go, nope.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, look at that guy. Look at that girl's hand down there near the snake. What are we doing there? That's weird.
Oh, geez. Yeah. How's that all twisted?
It's it's almost AI shit in a time that didn't exist, but it's really weird.
It's like they really figured out how to make friskets and airbrush, but not you knew how to make the frisket. You just didn't know how to use the frisket.
Exactly.
Like the muscles on his legs and his back and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a very weird thing, but it works because the money is enough to cover it, and you hired whoever that is, and it's fine. You know what? That's what this guy makes. He makes movies that are passably okay to hit play on. That's it.
There's something.
I want this scene in the movie, though. How come we don't get this scene? Does Talon even? I guess he does interact with Count Orlok at the end, but boy, it's
not quite like
this. It's a long way to go until you get that. Yeah.
Also, this lady that she's dealing with this snake, she ain't wearing no pants in this thing.
Kathleen Beller. That's because she was in her wedding gown, right? So, there is one thing about this.
You don't wear underwear with a wedding gown?
Yeah,
that's the king ordered it. Is what he wants, not her. It's his.
I'm saying like in the movie it wasn't so bad. In this poster, look at that. That's like, hey, you got a snake in your cartouche.
Well, you got to get those kids in the seats. You got to. Ooh, lady.
By the way, can I go ahead and have a trope alert for my favorite trope in the whole movie?
You can.
Oh yeah.
Marriage against your will, and when marriage is against your will, you are really slow to say I do. You're gonna take a minute to say I do, and of course that's when you get interrupted. It's bride interrupted trying to say I do and crying and all that trope really entertains me. There's something about like
so many movies, so many cross genres of that, right?
We saw it with Flash Gordon. With Jane Arden taking her sweet time to say I do, and I do not.
Yeah.
I do not.
Yeah. But even like, rom-coms and shit like that, they do the same stupid trope. That is one of the most universal tropes. If there's a relationship that it needs to be consummated in marriage, that's having sex, isn't it? Whatever it is.
Yeah, pretty much. It is. Yeah.
Is that what that is? No.
I think so. Or when you get a snake between your loins. I don't know which it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, whenever they do that trope comes up. That's a wildly common one. Crazy.
Yeah.
Dunaway, sorry, you were saying something.
Oh, that's okay. Kathleen Beller, who is our everybody's love interest in this movie, right? Everybody, the brother wants her, the king wants her.
She puts her arms around every dude in this film, and then
Need a crotch. Yeah. It's kind of an odd film in that plenty of women. Some of them have been exploited, but so are a lot of the men. And the women, even with their limited powers, are constantly coming to the rescue of these men. Now, the men do say, step aside, young ladies, we've got this. Mm-hmm. But it didn't feel exploitive as much as I remembered it feeling.
I know you just said they're limited powers, but some of these guys do some things that would have never occurred to me. And my favorite examples of this are when they grab a chain or a rope and swing from it to go from one place to another. Because like every time I'm just like, oh, that'll get you from that balcony to the other balcony quickly. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's a weird time because swashbuckling had kind of lost its flavor by this point, but it was back for some reason in different, fantasy and sci-fi. It's like,
they really reveled in it in this one. This is like, hey, remember those old Errol Flynn movies? We're going to do something like that.
That's what I'm assuming, that a lot of these directors were, probably inspired to bring action in this form because they was so impressed by it when they were growing up.
Yeah.
Errol Flynn.
I would assume so. I assume they were trying to capture that. Plus the music they used whenever the hero was on scene was very Errol Flynn hero music.
Yeah.
And it would change drastically. Mm-hmm. If I had one giant beef with the entire production, it's
giant beef.
You know what? In fact, I'm going to
grab a bucket.
Chick in the Bucket in this movie is light. There's no lighting anywhere.
Yeah, you missed the lighting.
Except the spotlighting, which is so weird. Like, go back and watch this, like skim through the movie until you see a bright spot, and it's a spotlight. Like I'll give you that because I rewatched the harem scene. Talon
getting to that.
No, it's the most well-lit scene in the whole movie. That's for sure.
Talon breaks in, and yes, the harem itself is very well lit, but you're supposed to presume that there's torches everywhere.
Yeah.
So Talon breaks in, and then they kick him out a window because he gets distracted by a naked woman. Yeah. And they kick him out a window, and he goes down at night. He goes down and lands in some I don't know, bags of grain or something.
Yeah.
When you see him, he is so spotlit. Like how are they doing this? Is this like a modern day prison? I don't understand where the spotlights are coming from.
I was curious about the lighting as well, because one thing, we did talk about the budget, and I meant to go back and look to see what kind of cameras they film with. Very grainy film. Got to say that Amazon Prime really came through with a good version of this. I've seen like the DVD, and I've seen, I think they got a 4K version as well. Some decent transfers, and I got to say, Amazon Prime, above what they usually give me with some of these older movies, looks like a good transfer. And I was just curious. What was it filmed with? It was certainly low lit, which is difficult to do to begin with. I don't know. It's juicy though. I'll tell you that. I got to see I got to see all the shininess that was Manimal. Oh, Simon McCorkindale.
It looks like typical Panavision Panaflex 35 millimeter.
Okay, so yeah, it's 35. I thought like 35 mil to me, and so that's good. Yeah. So yeah, I think they won there. The opening scene though was the whole opening movie was in darkness. They were supposed to be traveling. Oh, I did want to ask you guys about that. Locations. Randy is a huge location nerd. Was that the same corner that was in Goonies? That
yes.
Corner?
Was it?
Yes.
It's got to be, right? It's got to be the same corner as Goonies in that cliff, right?
If you go to the filming locations for this movie, and there's only 3 of them, and then go see what else. You're just looking at the phone book of other movies. Like,
right? Yeah.
This movie was filmed in Los Angeles. It was filmed out at a particular beach.
Yeah.
And in Griffith Park, there's a cliff that they.
Sure.
I was waiting on One-Eyed Willie's ship to come blowing out any second. Yeah.
I laugh. I barely know even what that is. I still haven't seen Goonies, but anyway, go ahead.
And I think they killed a stuntman in this movie.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah. And I think it's when they throw the Zushia over
Bull
the cliff.
Shannon.
Yeah.
What? Really?
I'm not sure. We had a stuntman die, but I'm not sure what scene it was in. I don't think they really addressed that.
He missed the airbags.
He missed the airbags. Did you read by how much? It was centimeters. I mean, there were. Can you imagine
really?
watching? Yeah, you're watching it, going, "Oh, he's got it, no problem."
Oh man!
Centimeters means. I mean, that means he's missing the center of the airbags. Like, 60 centimeters, 24-meter cliff.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
That's an enormous cliff right there.
I missed this entirely. That's like the number one trivia on here is this dude dying, and I missed it entirely. I had no idea.
Almost sunk it. Can you imagine? I mean, you're making your film. You're like, all right, they're finally going to trust this 29-year-old to make a film. And whoopsie.
Yeah,
it's a weird thing. Fun says, if that's how you say his name, says or Pewin, whatever, added that he was a quote babe in the woods on his first film, and he was elsewhere at the time shooting a different scene. A babe in the woods.
Pyun was saying that he was the babe in the woods, right? Because this guy had also worked on Blade Runner.
This guy been around forever.
Yeah. I think he's saying he's a noob, and I didn't know that this was
I didn't
happening.
know where to put the airbags. I mean, it seems like I don't know. I feel like that's the stuntman's job, is to say,
I wouldn't blame.
I need the bag here,
right? Yeah,
that's wild.
I mean, unlike Twilight Zone, where there's accusations of just absolute neglect, I don't think this was neglect. I think this was just oopsies.
It's a bummer. 37 years old is all. That sucks.
I found one difference between the theatrical version and the TV version. The crucifixion. That's pretty rough. TV version, they don't drive spikes through his hands. They just strap his wrists to the crucifix.
So wait, they did alternate filming for that to create the. Oh wow,
interesting.
Okay, I watched. I saw a crazy thing the other day. I didn't know this, but in the movie, what movie was it? Anyway, it was an animated film from Pixar. I can't remember which one, but there's a scene where somebody gets presented a bunch of cupcakes and it says some words. And one of the characters rotates a cupcake, one of the letters. And they said in China, they had to change it all to just smiley faces because the words were something about the phrase was offensive. Which means they had to reanimate the whole. I didn't realize that this sort of stuff happened. I guess it makes sense because it's cultural stuff. But
Anybody else hoping that, when you pull your hands with the spikes in them out of the crucifix, all of a sudden you now have two great weapons that you can swing around and stab people with?
They showed like one scene, like he had them in there and he was using them. And then the next scene was like they were just gone. And of course, your hands would be useless if someone spiked them. You would, you wouldn't be.
You would be useless. It's not just. It's not just that he fights with his hands for 5 minutes after he gets off that thing, but he can move at all. Like
which is why I always see these films as presented by a almost an untrustworthy narrator, because that's how stories go, right? He's like, then he pulled his hands from and he mauled 100 men, and that's kind of the thing there. Yeah. So Maul.
I like you brought up Maul. Like Richard mauled them. I'll give you an example of poor narration pronunciation. Here you go.
Legendary.
How you spell that?
Into a 3-syllable word.
I love how all these American actors have the varying kinds of English accents. Like Richard Mall is the one that sounds the best to me, because he's supposed to be like growling at all times.
Yeah.
When he kind of does a little affectation that's a little tiny bit British, it sounds good.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
He did a pretty good job, I thought. Having him be all biblical is a little weird. I don't like the whole "thou hast brought me back, whence thou cameth for thine."
Well,
I liked that.
It's from 1,000 years ago, so they talk different.
I guess they sure did. My wife, it's funny you bring up the accents, Randy, because my wife heard me in here capturing clips. I had speakers on, and her comment to me was, she goes, "Are any of those people English?" And I said, "I don't think so, babe. They're all doing different accents. This is not a good production."
I asked my significant other no less than 4 times this week, almost to the point of comedy, to watch it with me. Sure, don't want to watch it with me?
She wouldn't do it. Oh,
no.
That's funny.
She took one look at the poster and said, "Nope."
Did you guys know there was a sequel in 2010? Did you know this? Did you know it?
Yes.
Yes. So
with the aforementioned Kevin Sorbo.
Oh, right.
Kevin Sorbo.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sorbo came back. A couple other people. Again, directed by Pune. And then somebody else showed up. Oh, Lee Horsley came back as Talon in a cameo appearance.
Yeah. By the way, apparently, according to the dialogue in the movie, Talons are also money. And I was like, that's not confusing.
No, not at all.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You should pay me in talons. You mean my talon?
Yeah.
What are we doing here? You're getting a knee to the nuts.
Yep. And it's not even a name that you would. It's not like Sword and Sorcery 2 and then a colon and then a name. It's just called Tales of an Ancient Empire. That's a terrible name for this movie.
This new one. Yeah. What they ended on a. There's going to be a sequel note, right? They
this one does even say, actually does even say at the end, you see a little title card that says, tune in next time for Tales of whatever it was called. Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to find. Man, it's actually
whatever.
The sword has 6 blades.
Right. We've it's like the Gillette Atra. We'll just keep adding blades.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of hard to find on IMDb. Why is this so hard to find?
Yeah, it's I guess it wasn't well received, I'm assuming.
Oh my gosh,
amazing.
It's like not even in Kevin Sorbo's IMDb listing in the 2010s. I don't know. Oh, here it is. Abelard, Tales of an Ancient Empire. Oh, and it's rated at 2.2. This sounds like a winner, guys. Sounds like a real
this is a winner.
Hell of a follow-up.
Sure.
Did you have a terrible time watching this? Wait till you see the sequel.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, I'll admit I'm a bit like Dunaway on this. I had a very good time watching this because it reminded me of Kroll and shitty stuff we see that just has a certain vibe to it, and I had a blast watching it. I will never ever recommend it or tell anyone that it's good. I'm not going to say it's good. I'm like, if you said, "Hey, we're having a party and we're going to watch a bad movie and everybody's going to eat gummies or whatever," I'd say, "Let's go, let's do it. This is a good one."
This is the one. This is the one.
Guys, I got the movie for you.
But there's surely other better movies for that situation too, right?
I mean, Troll 2's up there. I'd put
right, but this is recency bias. We're talking about it right now, so you feel kind of high on it. But it's a bad movie, guys. It's really boring.
Yeah, it's not good. I wouldn't call it boring.
Now, I will not allow you to call this movie boring.
I wasn't bored, but I was. But I understand how you could be. I get it.
I was ready to go to sleep a lot of this movie, and there were 2 pieces of trivia that really helped me understand it better. One said that Albert Pyun had no shot list for the movie. He refused to make a shot list because that would give producers advance warning of how bad it was going to be, and he didn't want them to fire him.
Is that just this movie or a whole career? I'm curious.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
But then the other one that goes with that is that those producers managed to get Richard Lynch to be in the movie, and Richard Lynch really liked the script, like thought the script was going to win awards, this kind of thing.
Oh my gosh.
And Albert Pyun said about Richard Lynch that he was doing drugs at the time.
Dude,
I can see that. Cromwell drugs, man. You got to have, you know what? If everyone's going to, this movie's a drinking game if you like to hear the word Cromwell.
It really is. They did so much.
Every time.
They said it so much. And then when he dies, they're like, oh, we got to chant something. Let's chant Talon.
Yeah. Talon.
Talon.
That's also our money. It's like yelling dollar.
Yeah, money.
Quarter. It's just quarter. The other thing I wrote down here was, I know how those glowy fingers work. So the sorcerer part of stuff was very much left to the wind. Like, what is he doing? Does it require the ET fingers to do anything?
glowy tips.
Is it just push force? Star Wars power? Like, what does he actually freaking do? I just needed more sorcery in my sword movie. That's all.
Yeah,
I
agree with that. I think there could have been a lot. There's a lot up front. I mean, the practical effects of those screaming faces in the wall, that was everything.
Awesome. Love that.
That brought to life the horror comics of my youth. So I had read a lot of horror comics, and man, that was a rip straight from that.
Yep.
And man, I'm like, yeah, what are you guys trying to do? Drive parents crazy with a satanic panic or something? Because man, you guys got all kinds of imagery here that's going to freak them out. Freak them out.
Big time. I've been listening to a documentary podcast about the Satanic Panic era, and I think this was one of the movies. They listed a bunch of movies in this thing about that they thought were responsible for stuff, and one was Beastmaster.
Beastmaster's one.
What was the other one?
All that fantasy stuff really kicked off.
Yeah.
The Satanic Panic.
Yeah, and it was all kind of dark. Like they're going, like that earnestness I'm talking about is very much a dark fantasy earnestness. They were going for the real dark, like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you've got rituals, you've got blood sacrifices, you've got, which that conjures this guy and then just dies for no reason other than the guy says, how do I know you're any good, sorcerer? Yep. Says, watch this.
Yep. But it was after she went gross and licked his fingers. That was gross. That's what I didn't like.
That was gross.
By the way, you can't have a character resurrect more than twice and have me believe that they're actually dead. Once after the second resurrection,
right?
If you kill them, I need to see some evidence that they're actually.
What
dead.
is that?
Separate.
Yeah. What is that trope? There's got to be a name because that's in so many things where you've beaten the boss or the sub boss, and then the sub boss comes back. Die Hard has it with the freaking Amish guy.
Yeah.
Well, he's not really Amish, but you know what I mean. I can't think of another one, but I feel like everything has this. Everything seems to have like, oh no, he's back, or he lived, or he's Aliens does it.
Right.
The Queen, like you can't get away from it in a movie that has a bad guy. I don't think. Yeah. Skeletor is going to show up again. So whatever the name of that thing is, we'll find it. And we'll share it with the fine folks at home.
Zuzia comes back so many times. At the end of the movie, they're riding their horses on the beach because that's what you do to end a movie. And I'm just like, hey, you guys are leaving Zuzia. He's going to come back from the dead.
You wait for him to pop back up like out of the water.
I mean, who knows? Maybe we get him in the sequel.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, the Richard Mall-less sequel. They didn't do him in there at all.
I really felt like I needed more Devereaux.
Who's Devereaux?
This is
the first time I even make what. This is so weird watching a movie with you guys after watching a movie just as pure noise, just to turn on and just to laugh at and stuff and enjoy. It's hard watching something critical. And there's apparently they imprison the architect of the castle Devereaux, and I thought something big was going to happen. I'm like, oh, did I miss a whole story point? Because
the old guy that was enslaved in there, and he said, "My name is whatever, old man Devereaux." Right. I'm
Mr. Devereaux, and I built this place, and I know all of his secrets. And they all looked at him like, oh, and we about to do a montage, aren't we? And they just kind of let it go.
Yeah, he's kind of that was a weird plot point that just didn't have any ending to it.
The plot hole for me is when Cromwell's like, all right, so we're going to have a red wedding. And we have all of our enemies in prison downstairs. So we're going to take all of the guards out of the prison and have them wait on the wings to do the ambush. And like someone must have said, hey, we should leave one guard downstairs, like just one guard. And then no one with the keys magically can just come in and bust these guys out of the jail. No. I want all my men waiting in the wings. We're going to leave that prison completely unguarded.
Yeah. That's the arrogance of Cromwell, right?
Yeah. He's so stupid.
Yeah. I'm just going to leave Verdago, the rabble rouse. He's all downstairs angering the troops. Like after he killed Elizabeth, was that her name?
Yeah,
Elizabeth,
the blonde.
When he killed her so brutally, and everybody's just staring him down as he walked away.
Bjorn is her name. Yeah, she's not known for. She didn't really do anything since '91. She's still around, but
she's dead. No, she didn't.
As I'm sure you can tell, I can't stop thinking about the red wedding sequence because it's for starters, it's the best thing in the movie, but. I keep hearing Luis Guzman's voice in my head, and he's like, we have the ability to do what we want. Like, let's just go down there, bam, bam, bam. And I'm like, why doesn't Cromwell just kill his enemies as he comes across them? Why does he give them any chance?
Yeah, Cromwell's because he really is dumb. He's so two-dimensional, but he's fun to watch in this, and I loved his death face when he finally did die. What a great face to die with, man.
Yeah. He's definitely tortured. It's interesting because I was trying to also dig into why is Cromwell standing at the tree of sadness and contemplating, almost crying, and I'm like, what's going on, Cromwell?
Well, Cromwell, Mr. Titus.
Mr. Titus.
Titus Cromwell is a complicated guy.
Cromwell,
complicated man. It's got issues. Love him or hate him, Cromwell.
Hate him.
Any other thoughts before we do some clippage from this here film? Anything at all?
Let's see here.
Did you write anything down where you're like,
I did not enjoy the prison food scene of her smooching while everybody was okay with eating around people being tortured. I'm not a big
that's weird.
I lose my appetite.
Oh yeah.
There's guys crucified and hanging on walls and stinky and sweaty and horrible, and you're out there just chewing on your food. Terrible.
I feel like
please pass the peaches.
I feel like I'm writing a dissertation on this scene.
What's your favorite scene? Are you sure you rewatched the harem scene? Because I think you rewatched the red wedding scene.
The kings come in and sit down and start chowing down, and then later they realize there's a guy on a cross. Like they start staring at. Does that Talon? Wait, there's a man over there, and I think it's Talon. Like, how did you not see this on first entry? How did the second you walk in the room? How do you not see?
I don't know. When you asked that question, I started thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? If there was somebody being crucified in the middle of the room, I probably wouldn't stare directly at them. I'd just be like, oh, well, that's interesting. Oh, keep moving along, Brian. Keep moving along. Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question, though.
Okay.
So whenever I think of legs of meat, I think of chicken. And I don't understand why I was going to bring him the whole cow. Were they eating cow leg? Because he said he was devouring that, that leg, and it was in there at the top of the show. You played it.
Oh, the
cow leg.
Oh, the cow. That guy. He was great. He was. See, that's the other thing is I don't think anyone's checking the food. There's no food inspectors at that place. So every time that guy brought anything out, I went, maybe don't eat that whole rib or whatever he was doing, and make your innuendos while you do it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't trust the meat there. I don't trust the decor.
No, I don't trust the meat.
I don't think it's. I don't think it's properly stored.
Nope.
Or cooked fully.
Yeah.
All meat was fully salted. Everybody had high blood pressure during this time.
Yeah. Not be doing that. All right. Well, let's get to some clippage here.
I'm Captain Morgan.
Yep. Yes, you are.
That guy.
He was great.
I loved him.
Here's our first clip. It's a hissing witch.
Get on with it, witch.
All right.
Witch.
It's a great way for a witch to respond. Just turn to the guy and hiss.
I'm a witch.
I did really appreciate that it just starts in the middle of the action. These guys are showing up at this cave.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to resurrect the thing. You don't know any of this. You're just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, it was pretty good. This is what the sex workers always tell me. All right. This is a little captured audio for you. Enjoy.
Why dost thou crave my services?
Jeez, I gotta find a better place. And it's cheap, so I go there. But
it should have been mine services. But go on.
Here is. I don't know what this is.
Take me to battle, father. You'll need me.
No, that kid was so bad.
Take me to battle.
Take me to battle,
the younger
father.
Talon.
Yeah, Talon.
What happened to his?
Yeah.
What happened to his sister? I meant to go back and watch it again because I think I've always assumed in the past the lady who took off was his sister. Then I'm like, no, they make the love later.
Yeah, they were into each other
didn't
later.
One of his sisters run away like at the very beginning, and I guess we just never visit. Am I crazy?
Maybe she's the chick in the bucket. Maybe that's who he should have picked. Yeah, there is a sister that he's supposed to.
The mom and the sister that. Yeah.
Oh no, she's the sister to the guy with the big mouth, the Manimal. That's who she's sister to.
Why did he bed her?
Well, no, he didn't. You're mixing up Talon with the guy who played Manimal. He's not the same guy. Different guy.
So what you're saying is
Lee Horsley had sex with the sister. So Lee Horsley came back and did it with the sister. The sister, not his sister. Talon has no sister.
When Talon was young, his sister ran away.
Oh,
then I always thought that was Princess Nutkicker. I thought that was Princess Nutkicker, right? Is that not
Princess
Nutkicker?
No,
she's the sister. She's the sister.
I understand it's
of
not
the
now.
heir,
the guy that was
Micah,
tortured.
who also wants to diddle her.
Micah, right?
Yeah. She's with
Manimal.
She's with Manimal, exactly.
Right.
All right, nerd guy with a sword. And, this is the nerd
answer. All right.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Honestly, it's a good point.
All right.
It might be our ultimate chick in the bucket because none of us know who the hell the sister is. So I don't know, man.
The movie is riddled with characters that come and go, and you think for just a moment, "Oh, this is an important character," and it's not.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's full of those.
There's your example right there, I think. All right, here's the nerd of the group, the one guy who doesn't belong in this movie.
But sir, King Lanbosha is waiting for us at Maladan.
Oh my gosh, dude!
I love that VO work. After I loved it.
Yeah, the ADR, it's pretty strong.
I want anyone listening who hasn't seen this movie to know that is not in the bottom 10 worst deliveries in this movie. Some of the deliveries are so bad that your brain goes, "Oh, they're going for that. They're trying to make that person sound like a dunce."
They're probably 11th, but you're right. There's worse, which sounds insane to say there's worse than that, but there is. Definitely is. Lots of weird grunting in this movie. Here's a little. A lot of that. People just getting hurt, tortured, whatever. A lot of. All right, here's one. We did it already, but I'll play it again. This guy.
Just a leg, or shall I bring the whole cow?
Yeah, bring the entire.
Yeah, that's it. Just the leg, or bring the whole cow.
Yeah.
Have I eaten cow leg? When I think of cow leg, I think of like the lower part. I don't think of like the upper part.
I don't think of any cow leg. I just think of the body.
Chicken. I think of chicken when I think of legs, right?
Yeah. Who eats a cow leg? I don't think.
Well, I mean, we call it shank, right?
Do we?
Right.
Yeah.
Is it a thing you can go like if I go to a Ruth's Chris, can I get a thing like that? A whole like leg with a
shank? No, you can get a whole leg. You'll get a like if you get a roast, isn't a roast can sometimes be made from the shank as opposed to like steak.
But it's the chuck roast. It's like that. You're not getting that at Ruth's Chris.
No, gosh.
No, but I mean, I guess what I'm saying is like when you get a chicken or turkey leg, it's got a bone to hold on to and a thing to nosh on. That's not what I would ever. I would never get this leg part with the bone and everything at a steak restaurant, right? That's not going to happen. As far
Correct.
As I know. Okay. Well, that's good. I'll know what to expect next time I'm not there.
Cow leg, please.
Everything in this.
It is entirely possible that you could get a shank steak somewhere. It's just not
in this movie.
It's not the best meat, right? It's kind of. They call it chuck for a reason. They chuck it. No, that's not true. All right. Here's everything in this movie sounds like a double meaning. Here's an example.
Is your sword for hire?
Oh, hello. Hello.
Yeah.
I think you said
Are
that.
Do you just want the sword? Like do you want all of it? Do you want all 3 pieces? 4 pieces?
Do you know I've got a triple horn? Do you know that?
Yeah, I got triple horn.
Don't lose the other blades. Okay, I'll let you borrow it, but
Yeah, careful. This trigger here. This is a problem. They'll fly off.
Pew, fly right off.
don't shoot them off of a cliff because we'll never get them back.
This is a fun thing that Cromwell likes about his ladies.
I expect my bounty perfumed and pretty.
Oh no, that was still Talon, but perfumed and pretty.
Perfumed and pretty.
Pretty. They want to smell good and look good. Oh yeah! All right.
Oh yeah!
Here's a labored long. Oh, it's just about how hungry he is or something.
You've labored long. I thought you'd be hungry.
Oh, that's Elizabeth. Yeah. Which, by the way, I just put in our disc. Or no, I didn't. We put it in real quick. Her first 3 acting jobs are kind of interesting. She was in the More American Graffiti, which was not good. Different Strokes as a character named Kristen for an episode, and then this movie. Quite the run there.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, well done.
Probably Dana Plato's drug-addled friend or something for a very special.
Wow!
For a very special episode of Different Strokes.
Yep.
Ouch!
Yep. I mean, that's the worst thing about the Plato thing and her overdose is that they had, I think, multiple episodes where she dealt with people who had serious drug problems. They were like very special episodes or whatever, and she was the one that ended up having the very bad drug problem.
Yeah.
I guess what's his name did too, Lewis or
for a second there, I thought you said she was addicted to Play-Doh.
Nailed it.
She was snorting.
Oh, that's good.
Snorting Play-Doh.
Her Play-Doh issues. Her Play-Doh.
All right, I'll admit something.
I love how Play-Doh smells.
When I was a kid, I liked it. I thought it smelled good.
Yeah.
Oh, love it.
Yeah. I don't know
having
why.
A moment. It never really occurred to me that Play-Doh is a play on Plato.
Yeah. Plato, like the
philosopher.
Greek philosopher.
Yeah.
I think it is.
That's
deep. I think it's just play. I don't think they meant to. I think it's just
it's dough that you play with.
Yeah, you're playing with dough.
I'm going with Randy. It has a deeper meaning.
You think it's based on the philosopher? Like, okay, all right.
I don't buy it. I don't think it's correct.
This is my new reality.
That you put on your feet called Socrates.
Yes, that's a bridge too far. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's the line.
That's the line. Socrates, socks and Socrates too far, man. Here's the gulp trope, and you won't know what it is till I play it, but I cannot believe they put this in here. It's so stupid, but it's when someone's scared and they go like that or whatever. Yeah, they did that. Here it is.
Stop, or your leader dies.
Oh my God!
Yeah. That's the first time I've noticed it was this watching. Once again, don't watch stuff you love critically.
Yeah.
And what you didn't take that from Bugs Bunny?
Nope.
Right.
Okay.
But you'd be surprised. You know, I'm with you. That shouldn't be in any live action film ever made. Don't do it. It's him, Rodrigo.
It's me, Rodrigo.
Okay, cool, dude. He was in there for like 5 seconds, gave us his name, and then no real story resolution on Rodrigo that I remember, right? He kind of just petered out like everybody else.
Yeah.
Cromwell sends you a bargain voice.
Cromwell sends you a bargain.
Oh, I put voice. Oh, yeah. So this guy, he's the one that was torturing everybody and everything. And his voice, I don't think it matches the vision of him. Like he's a big burly dude, and he goes,
Cromwell sends you a bargain.
He sounds like some character, some voice actor character I've heard in a cartoon, but I couldn't quite place it.
Hold on, play again.
Cromwell sends you a bargain.
I'm getting, you know what I'm getting? I'm getting, what's his name, who played Harkonnen in the new, Baron Harkonnen in the new Dune movies.
Oh, sure. The older Skarsgård.
Stellan Skarsgård.
Stellan Skarsgård.
So now listen to it with his face.
Cromwell sends you a bargain.
You can kind of hear it.
A little bit, yeah.
Weird.
I'm hearing cow and chicken.
Yeah, I feel like I'm hearing every animated series that ever existed.
Nice. All right. Final note here. This is weird mole noises. So Richard Mole making sounds. Gross.
I would love to be in the sound booth.
Him crawling out of the dude's face sound.
No, that's him at the end when he's kind of circling around him with his powers and the heart beats. He's kind of bleeding out of his ears. Talon is.
Okay.
And it's right before he shoots a blade.
When he's putting He's putting the mojo on him. He's like,
yeah. When he's in full commando, not commando, full Conan underwear and all that.
Full like commando.
Full commando. It's full commando. You never go full commando.
No, you never do. That's either Arnold with a bunch of armor on and face paint, or it's naked. It's one of those two choices.
Yeah, or it's naked. It's one of the two.
Here is a chance for us now to do this whole checklist thing. It's the Film Sack checklist. Was a great time for the man stash back then. Check. A lot of mustaches underneath those armors and things. I guess 82 was big. My brother in 82, full mustache. Ridiculous. Yeah, just stupid. Anyway, 20 sets of boobies. Check. Too many swords, not enough sorcery. Check. All right.
Big check.
Let's get to the Star Trek connections. I was sure I had somebody picked for this, but I don't think I'm right. Randy, do we have anyone?
This is a lot. I'm just going to run through them. This is a lot.
Surprised.
This is what you get when you have a very low budget and you're in California.
Sweet.
This is you get this. You get Jeff Corey, who played Krakus and was in an episode of the original series. Jay Robinson, who played King Charles and was in an episode of the original series. John Davis Chandler, who played Guard Number 1, and there's a lot of listings that are like that. Guard Number 1 was in an episode of Deep Space Nine. Eric Cord, who played Eric in this movie. Eric Cord, who played Eric, was in an episode of The Next Generation as Thug. Richard Lynch, our Cromwell, was in an episode of The Next Generation. He's. I had to. I need to look it up. I don't remember this at all. Anthony DeLongis, who played Rodrigo, was in an episode of Voyager. Hubie Kearns Jr., who played Renquo, was in The Wrath of Khan. And I'll give you the two bigger ones as far as I can see. George Murdoch, who played Quaid, was in both an episode of The Next Generation and was in Star Trek V: The Final Frontier. He was the voice of God. George Murdoch was.
The bad Shatner
movie,
one.
The
Another
Final
film?
Frontier.
Then finally, somebody's friend over at Paramount, Joseph Ruskin. He played Malcolm in this movie. Joseph Ruskin was in the original series, an episode of Deep Space Nine, an episode of Voyager. He was in Star Trek Insurrection, and he was in an episode of Enterprise. In Star Trek Insurrection, his cast name was Sona Officer Number 3.
Wow. That's a lot more than I expected. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Blown away by that. All right, nicely done. Soundtrack grade, I'm going to give it a BTTM for better than the movie. It's pretty good. It's orchestrated, which I think was a smart move. No synthy poo-poo for the time. So I thought that worked out okay. It was all right, though. I don't know if that was anyone significant in the world of composition, but it sounded nice. It felt like a grade above the rest of the film.
Material.
Yeah, for sure. I think it elevated it. It would not be as good without it. So, let's get to the social media post. That's where you guys sum things up in 280 characters or less. Let's start with Randy.
The Sword and the Sorcerer. An evil king whose sword is bloody red. A sorcerer who rises from the dead. Some stories like this one are sung in song. This tale, though, it does suck some donkey dong.
Now, wait a minute. How is it possible in the same episode that Brian Ibbett made my favorite version of one of his song intros, and Randy has made my favorite poem he's ever done? How is that possible?
700, baby.
Jeez.
700.
Firing on all
Congratulations.
cylinders. This might be our best episode ever. All right, well, nice job, everyone. Let's move on now to Brian Dunaway. What do you got there, buddy boy?
The Sword and the Sorcerer. This movie goes harder than a pair of Richard Mall demon nuts. Hashtag bonk.
Listen, it just looked like wooden croquet balls kind of sound.
Oh, see, again, that was one of your...
worked in over a millennia.
Maybe I'm high on life, but that was one of my favorite posts you've done. All right, nicely done, Brian Ibbett. Round us out. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, I think this is where the streak ends. The Sword and the Sorcerer. More sword euphemisms for penis than you can shake a teeny tiny little dagger at.
That's not bad. It's good. It's consistent.
Reminded me, I got my mother-in-law a shirt last year that says "High on life and also on drugs."
Great.
And And she wears it very proudly.
She should.
That's great.
It's quite the gift.
She should.
All right. Well done. It's time for the alternate titles. Oh, boy. This was almost called The Jello Orc Lives. And I wrote that before I knew much more about the Richard Mall character. At first, I just thought he was like an orc coming out of the goo. But, it changed as I went on. So they didn't use that title. Instead, they almost went with Wolverine Swordigans. Swordigans. Because there's three blades, see?
Yeah, blades, you see.
And it's an origin with the Swordigans thing there.
Huh.
But you can see why they didn't do it. You can see why they chose differently.
Yeah.
I think they made the right choice. All right. Email and voicemail time. We got a voicemail here from Eric, and it's about these challenge coins. In fact, these ones that I'm sending off to you guys and bringing to Vegas for two of you. It's from him. It's from Eric, who's retiring soon, and he has this to say about the actual coins.
Hey, Film Sackers. Just wanted to let you know. I know you guys all sort of collect challenge coins, but do you guys know why it's called a challenge coin? Well, here's the skinny. The idea is you whip out a coin at a bar. You're with the fellas and ladies, and you tap it on the bar. The idea is that everyone has to produce a coin. If they can't produce one, then they buy the round. If everyone can produce a coin, then the one who initiated the challenge has to buy a round. So now that you guys all have coins, you better be well equipped in case in Vegas somebody whips out a coin and challenges you. Just wanted you to know that's the way it works in the military. Thanks for everything you guys do, and stay safe in Vegas. Scott, watch out for those shrooms. See ya.
Yeah, dude. So
the military.
I knew the first part of that, but I did not know the second part. I didn't know that if everybody has a coin, then the person who initiated it has to buy the round.
Yeah. I didn't know any of it.
You're rethinking your challenges, aren't you?
I am. It's going to make me a little more hesitant to challenge.
I'm going to carry
I feel
one
like
around.
the military is the source for everything. Like all the weird stuff in the world.
Well, yeah, DARPA, the
happened.
internet, it's electric car batteries. Everything started there. So yeah, we're all benefits from the military industrial complex. And good job, everyone. All right, well done. That's it for voicemails. Let's do a quick text. This came to us at the same line though for voicecast.app/filmsack. You can either send your voicemails or your texts. And this text says this: Filmsack film that just showed up on Amazon Prime, Leviathan. Dave. This is Dave from St. Paul, Minnesota. He says, I just wanted to pass on this news about Leviathan. Now that I am thinking about it, I can't remember if you actually did Leviathan or if I have just not had a visit to your database. Thanks for the show, Dave. Well, Dave, I verified we have not done Leviathan.
No, that would be a great one to do, too.
We 100% should do Leviathan because Leviathan was basically like, hey, aliens underwater, man. Let's go. Mm-hmm. And you know, that was a thing.
Go, man.
So I will, and I also don't think I've seen it. So let's go. Let's do it. Let's
I have
put
it on our.
list.
I have it on our watch list between Legion and Little Shop of Horrors.
Nice, excellent. We doing the old one or the new one of horrors? New one, right? Or newish? I mean,
the Moranis one.
Moranis
Yes.
or versus Jack?
Yes.
Yeah, we don't. Jack Nicholson. Yeah. Although his role was very small in that, but yeah, I've seen the old one. It's actually kind of all right, but I've never seen the Steve Martin Moranis one. So
cool. Really?
Yeah,
it's one to watch with you then. That's going to be great.
Yeah,
you're going to love
put
it.
Put on your musical appreciation ears.
Yeah, I love that movie.
I have never. It's a musical. Interesting. The first one's not.
Yeah, you should get like there's like some special versions of that too, if I remember.
So is it based on? So they took the old 60s movie, made a play, and then the play is the movie. The movie's an adaptation of the play.
They took the original and made a movie, and then based the play on the movie.
Oh,
on the second movie. So Roger Corman original, then the Frank Oz musical, and then the play based on the Frank Oz musical.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, crazy. Yeah. I look forward to it. It feels like Goonies, where
it's like the Audrey eating the Audrey too.
I just don't know why I've never. I don't know why I've never seen it. It just seems like one of those movies.
Yeah. That's funny. I won an award in high school for my review of Little Shop of Horrors for journalism.
Nice.
Creative writing. Journalism.
Nice.
Well, journalism.
Journalism. Yeah.
I was just the paper cartoonist, and they kept telling me that I was drawing penises when I wasn't. I definitely wasn't.
Yeah.
They say I was, but I wasn't. All right, let's get on to thanking some patrons for stuff. And we got some folks to call out here. Patreon.com/filmsack, where you'll get no commercials ever, pre-show content every week, monthly host specials, and art in the mail from me. Other cool benefits, so check that out. I want to just thank some regulars. All turtles are named Shelly, is a current subscriber.
Right.
Bon Sigma, and also Spicy Pepperoni. I like all three of these things.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spicy pepperoni.
Spicy Pepperoni. Big thanks to all of them for doing that. I know Dunaway's got something prepped for DVD menus. Is that the thing you were working on?
Yes, some classic. Cool. Yeah. So I actually thought about getting employed at some places in Atlanta that were doing DVD menus at the time. And so I'd done a deep dive on it way back in the day. So just curious to look back over all that stuff. I remember like this. Do you guys remember the Shrek DVD?
Sure.
Do you remember Donkey jumping up and down and going, pick me, pick me? Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What a classic.
You said I do, yeah.
It's in my brain.
Yeah, it's there was a real attempt at being very creative with that stuff for a while because it was new and it was interesting. It was like, here's this new interface and it's kind of interactive, and turns out it's not that exciting. But
now I have Netflix autoplay random.
Yeah.
Oh, don't you just hate modern life?
Yeah.
that made it possible for us to do this show. Don't you just hate it? Oh, that's a shame.
So stupid.
Anyway, so there's that. That's coming soon from Luddite Brian Dunaway. That'll be in your inboxes soon. And if you haven't heard any of our past host specials, you just sign up today and you'll get it all. Patreon.com/filmsack. Our next movie will not be a movie. It will be a FilmSack Q&A. Yeah, that's right. We're going out of town. So what are we doing? We're taking a bunch of your questions and answering them. And that's happening next week. So load up.
Well, I read that wrong. I saw FilmSack TNA. I was so excited.
Oh, shit.
Do a Q&A.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
No, that's from the pre-show. That's Texas TNA.
That's Texas. Texas TNA.
Anyway, in the meantime, filmsack.com is our website. You can use it on the frequent. We're also on Blue Sky now as well, at filmsack.com. Same deal over there. You can also, like I said, support us at patreon.com/filmsack. Keep that feedback coming in at quicksack. I wish it was. Sorry. I can't even talk. What am I trying to say? Voicecast.app/filmsack. Voicecast.app/filmsack. We love your feedback. Please keep it coming. If you're an old school email user, filmsack@gmail.com will do just fine. That's going to do it for us. For me, for Brian, and for Randy.
That's a small threat.
We'll see you next time.
In the menu of life, make your main entree frogpants.com. It's delicious. Delicious.
Legendary.